Episode 130. Episode 130 of What's the Buzz?
130. Has there been any breaks?
Yeah.
Every week? Okay.
Yeah, just, whether there's been vacations, lots of times we can work around that. Mm-hmm. But whether there's vacations or just out of the ordinary types of things.
So that's over 2 years then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Still going strong.
3 different locations. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Next year it'll be a different one. I'll probably move again.
Yeah. It started out in the
His
office at Honeysuckle, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
The mowers were always going in the back.
Mowers were going, or we'll hear beep from that door, the entry door right there.
Yeah.
Or we could hear, Sarah roaring, chit-chatting. Or when Christine came on board, we'd hear Christine from, I don't know.
Yeah.
4 blocks away. Some people have the gift of projection.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I forgot it started there. And
yep.
There was like that little mic. You guys shared a microphone.
We shared a microphone. It was Kayla's computer microphone. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at where we are.
Look how far we've come. Baxter, you're not.
Baxter.
This is not necessary. It's not necessary for you to be.
Is there a no couch rule? Or is he?
Yeah, right. No, in this house, anything goes, dude.
Yeah.
He's so needy. You know what? He's a really good dog, but I'll tell you what happens is if you talk to the other dog, or if she comes up to you and wants any kind of attention, he's like, "What's that?"
He'll notice.
Oh, we're petting dogs? I'll be right there. Yeah. And one of the things I love about, like, she has one defect. I won't mention it, but she's not a licker. Lots of times little dogs are lickers. Mm-hmm. She's a booper. She'll come up and she'll go, boop. Not my face. I would never love that, but like she'll just, like boop your leg or boop your hand.
Yeah.
He's a licker.
Okay.
And I just want to like crawl out of my skin.
You're not a fan of the licks?
Not a fan. And he's okay if it's just one-on-one. If you throw her in, he's like, I'm going to lick you. Because he knows that it'll annoy you. And so you'll have to give him more attention. So you'll have to give him the 2 hand rubs, not the 1 hand per dog. It's like, no, leave her alone. Rub me. Otherwise, I'm going to lick you.
No,
that's nice,
man. Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to, and not looking forward to adding the pup to the house. So that'll be, I'm sure there'll be all kinds of stuff like that to figure out again.
And that'll be September?
Yeah, September. Yeah, middle of September. Mm-hmm. Bring the pup home. And yeah, it's been almost 2 years since we've had a dog in the house. So I think it'll be a little bit of an adjustment. The girls are older now, though, so I'm hoping they kind of jump in on the walking and cleaning up, and they'll play with them a ton, I'm sure. So, but
yeah,
it'll be good.
That's perfect. I mean, they're at a great age to be able to.
It is, yeah, yeah. And they've never had a puppy before because Walter, our previous dog, was probably 3 or 4 by the time Maddie was born, and then he just was 11 when he died about 1.5 years ago, almost 2 years. So. Yeah, this will be their first chance to have a puppy and see it from that side. They're excited.
Oh, I'm sure.
They're super pumped.
And there's puppies are, it's like kids. I mean, there's an energy to it, that's kind of infectious.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, at the same time, it's a fair amount of work.
It is, yeah.
But you're doing it the right way, man. You're having the dog trained before, right?
Yeah, which I'm glad that worked out. And like most of that training, it's not like show dogs, but it's just like crate training, and they might start a little bit with like sitting, staying, maybe shake a little. The girls asked if they could teach him how to shake hands before he comes home. It's like, well, they said we can start with
hands. They don't need opposable thumbs.
Yeah. So just some of those basics, which will be really nice, I think. That's actually how it worked out with our first dog, because we were living in Houston at the time, and he was born in San Antonio.
I forgot you lived in Houston.
Yeah.
That's right.
We drove over to San Antonio, and something came. We couldn't get the dog when it was ready to come home, so it had to stay with the breeders for an extra 3 or 4 weeks. And they're just like, we got to do something with it. We got to train it how to. So he came relatively house trained, which was awesome.
Oh, that's huge. That's 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 the hardest part. And I think people can, whether they have pets or children, they can relate, because there's a phase of life that's the most difficult. It's the puppy phase, the indoor, the outdoor training phase, the crate training. That part is so difficult. And if you have like any kind of a leg up on that, it makes it so much easier. Just like with babies, of like, the baby won't sleep at night. Like the baby wants to sleep all day and up all night, and I'm working during the day, and then I got to be up all night with the baby. Like that phase of life is really tough. So, and have you settled? Wow. You probably can't get into it. I don't want to but have you narrowed it down? The names? Have you narrowed the names down?
Yeah. So there's a name that 3 of us like. So Allison, Maddie, and myself. Josie's kind of holding off on. She's not a big fan of it yet, but I think our compromise is going to be you get to pick the middle name. Pick whatever you want for the middle name, if we can go with this one. So. So we'll see. We tried I had like this whole system where each family member got to submit 4 names without question, and then each family member got to remove 2 of those names without question. And so we got it to 8, from 16 to 8. And then with discussions, we got it to 4, and then further discussion, we've gotten it to 1. So this way, everybody felt like they were involved and participating, and so
that's a great system. See, therein lies, Brady. There's the difference between your personality type and my personality type.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. What do you want to name the dog? What do you want to name it?
Yeah.
We want to name it, Bilbo Baggins. Okay, no, that's a stupid name. And come on, like, come up with something good at least. I don't care, but like, I'm not going to call the dog Bilbo. Okay.
That one did kind of make the list at our whole. We're like, but we're not that big a Lord of the Rings fans. Like, we just thought it sounded cool. But.
Frodo.
Frodo.
I don't even know that. In my life, I cannot even think about why I would say that name just now, because that wasn't a real thing. But your whole like, no, there's a system, there's a process to this.
Right.
Yeah, you're very, very process oriented.
Yeah. Well, I think Allison was more like, no, we just need to pick a name to make sure it's not a dumb name. And I was kind of like,
she's like, Brady, no more spreadsheets, please.
Which is weird because she's the accountant, so she's the spreadsheet person.
She leaves that at the office.
Right. Yeah,
she leaves, closes her office door. Spreadsheets are no more.
Not for dog names.
Well, you've been on a run, man. You've been on a schedule. The kids are still down at the youth gathering, and by kids I mean Pastor Justin, and Shelby, and Andy Jip, and Cole McCallum, and Summer Hahn, and Sarah. Who am I leaving out there? That's it, right? I said Shelby, right? And then 2 kids, I think.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, 36, I think maybe.
36. Oh gosh. Okay, yeah, 36.
Right. Yeah, big group, and wow, yeah. Thank God for those adult leaders.
Oh, I forgot about Robin Gore.
Yeah.
By the way, who I think was so integral. Her personality type, perfect for something like that. But also, she came up with this. When you have 42 people, and you got to find places to eat,
right? And
you might not have a whole lot of time, and there are 25,000 people descending, on that area.
Wow.
Robin came up with this master full plan of how to feed everybody. And I'm telling you, like Sarah, talking to Sarah, just like little bits here and there because they're so busy. But she said that she's hearing nightmare stories about other groups trying to get fed, trying to get into a place to eat, trying to, make sure everybody's cared for. And that has been by far the smoothest process.
Wow.
Which is great.
I haven't heard of this. What's the detail?
Well, basically she just, I think there's some website that you can set up like catering well in advance, and it doesn't need to be, it's not like, like wedding reception level of catering, but it's whatever, and so then they can go reserve like a breakout room or a conference, like a section of the hotel or whatever. and all the food's laid out there buffet style, and the kids can just go get what they want.
Catering group delivers it.
And it's still
sets it up.
Yes.
Oh man, well done.
There's actually a picture shared on social today that I saw where it looks like a big, massive room where looks like they're the only group in there, and this big, long table where all 42 of them are.
Wow.
And where they have eaten.
That's incredible.
Oh, it's so important, especially because you think about like the schedule they're keeping, the late nights, the early mornings, go, and then also a bit of the emotional drain of it, whether it's from the kids in the breakout sessions and really going deeper spiritually, or the chaperones just bearing the weight of caring for kids and making sure that everybody's safe and cared for, and also like feeding into their development. Like, you don't want to be malnourished. You're already going to be short on sleep, but you don't want to have a lack of food. And so, Robin just,
wow, man, stress-free and just the camaraderie. I mean, if you're in a random restaurant, you're probably spread across, 10 different tables and it's loud and there's other groups in between you. But if just one room by yourself with a good meal, a lot more contact time and debrief time, and it's awesome. Yeah.
And then the other piece of it is like they did grocery orders to be delivered to the hotel for like snacks and drinks and things. And so Sarah and Summer are staying together, and they have like all of the food and drink, the snack items, like jammed in their hotel room where they're like sharing a king bed. The room is trashed. I mean, she showed me a picture. I'm like, oh, man, that's terrible. And then the juxtaposition of that room versus Kayla and Reagan's room, which is a suite.
Oh, nice.
It's massive with like a kitchen and like all this space.
There were supposed to be 3 of them.
There's supposed to be 3 of them, yeah.
Okay, nice.
And so they've got this huge room and all this space, and Sarah and Summer crammed in this one little hotel room with, and the kids are coming and going for like snacks and drinks and things. And so it's just
well, again, thank God for them and just their willingness to be there, to pour in, and it's not an easy haul. So it's awesome.
Yeah, and you or I had to punch in and go, didn't we?
Yeah, that was a little bit of a sense of relief. I won't lie. It would it'd be an amazing experience, but they're going to be tired when they get back.
I know.
It's going to take a day or two to recover and get back in the swing.
Yeah,
of things.
no, I'm sorry. There's no day or two. Like, I have hardly eaten, and my laundry, it's piling up.
I'm sure. Yeah. That'll go over well.
I'm being silly. I do all my own laundry. Thank you very much. And mostly feed myself. And so I can tell you who's really going to be happy. My little furry friends. Because they're absolutely obsessed with Sarah.
They're missing her.
We're doing pretty well. The barometer is, are they eating?
Okay. Because
sometimes they'll just go on a hunger strike.
Really?
Yeah. But they're definitely eating. So I must be giving them proper amounts of care. Mm-hmm. And it's just Cameron and me, really.
Yeah.
With little Logan's, sightings sprinkled in here and there. Cameron has done his first load of laundry ever.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And he cleaned his first bathroom ever, including the toilet.
Let's go to the toilet. Okay,
yeah. I have photo evidence of that. He helped weed sections of the backyard there, which is pretty huge. So he's probably looking forward to Sarah coming on too.
You got to keep that momentum, keep that going. Right. You got him started.
That's right.
The other night, the girls have never really washed dishes, and Maddie got on a tear. I just told her can you wash your dish? Just try it out. And she stood there and washed every dish, and she was like, "This is actually kind of fun." I was like, and it hasn't happened again. It's remember that thing you said was pretty fun? Do you want to try it? And she hasn't taken us up on it yet, but just, they surprise you sometimes.
So. There's so much evidence to the importance of that and how they will lean into it and really like appreciate contributing, you know? And it helps them feel value in that contribution, and helps their self-worth.
Yeah.
And yet we have been so lax over the years, because the process of getting them from not doing it to doing it the first time or the second time, before it's a habit, you know, before it's a level expectation, is such a battle.
Right.
It's such a battle, you know, including but not limited to, you know, like Cameron's made himself a couple meals by himself unprompted this week.
Nice.
Because I wasn't here and he got hungry.
Yeah.
And so I came home and I was like, I saw this little cup of barbecue sauce sitting on the counter, but no evidence otherwise. And so I asked him, I said, did you eat? He's like, yeah. I said, oh, okay. Well, what did you, he's like, I warmed up some of that brisket. I was like, nice. Oh, okay. And then where'd you put they're in the sink, which getting them from the counter to the sink that's progress.
That's a big step. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. And, you know, it's easy for me to say, you know, like all this, you know, we've seen progress this week, because Sarah will just do it. For the same reason. She's like, well, it's just easier. I'll make him the food. I'll clean up after him, you know, because it's just easier.
Right.
And for that, like, we're all eternally grateful. But at the same time, he's 12.
Yeah.
He's fully capable of it.
Yeah. Know? It's a good time to, like you said, building that habit and getting it going. And I have this, I'm in the same kind of mindset as probably Sarah is too, of like a little OCD. So some of those dishes that are some dried on food, I'm like over her shoulder, like make sure you get it in. So that's one of the challenges that I have, of like allowing it to maybe not be done perfect, but getting them involved and allowing them to connect and not to like, that's where I struggle too, of like, instead of like, way to go, like, thanks for doing that. It's like, oh, you missed a spot.
Yeah.
You know,
almost got it right.
Right. Yeah. So just need to step back and think about how I approach that when they do jump in. They're really into baking shows right now. Oh, especially the kids' baking shows. Yeah. They watch that and now they want to bake all the time, which is great. But I think we had like 6 different kinds of cookies in the house last week, because they just had all these ideas, and then they want to try to like make meals, and sometimes they'll, you know, make up these meals for us with like this kind of weird trail mix and like sandwiches, and it's like, it's okay, but it's not great, but you kind of gotta choke through it. So, but it's fun. They get so excited about the opportunity. They made like this dessert buffet for us one day, and all of them were like kind of a variety of like pretzels and chocolate chips and like powdered sugar.
Ooh.
And then they like took this cupcake. I don't even know why we had a cupcake, but Maddie like ground it all up with the frosting and then like turned it into like a flat and then cut it up into strips. She was just like, which was actually pretty good, but it's fun watching them get creative and try different things, try new things. So, but some of those bakers on those shows though,
they're insane.
They're like 10 years old and like, it's amazing.
It's like that's your gift, you know. Like sometimes they'll see a 10-year-old prodigious child playing the piano. You know, and you're like, that's insane, but it's the same kind of deal.
Yeah,
you know?
Somehow they know how to.
Or like, you know, like you'll see a 3-year-old hitting a driver, you know, hitting a driver 100 yards down the fairway. I'm like, wait a second, this one was perfect. Look, they're trying, you know.
Yeah.
I saw something yesterday. Essentially, this guy, it wasn't like a TED Talk type of deal, kind of, you know, and on parenting. And he said, you know, when your kid brings you a picture that they just scribbled, you know, like, like, oh, I made this for you, you know, the inclination from a parent is like, wow, it's amazing, great job, you know. And he's like, I'm going to caution you, don't do it that way.
Mm-hmm.
He said, instead of gushing over how great it is, because it's obviously not,
Right.
They're like, thank you so much. How thoughtful. I really appreciate you making this for me. And then to go back to them and say, what do you think about it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I thought, yeah, we've probably been the opposite of that. We're probably like, you're so amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, especially there's one kid in particular. There's one of our kids in particular who's been you're so amazing,
Yeah.
It's interesting to see how that plays out. Are they set up appropriately for somebody being like, that actually sucks?
That is interesting. Yeah, I think that is a default of, especially if they're like, I don't think it's very good, and we say, no, it's amazing, or yeah, how can you guide them into maybe like, why don't you think it's very good, or maybe just asking more questions rather than just jumping in with it's a good idea.
It's the hardest job I've ever loved, or what's the phrase? I love being a dad more than about anything, and
absolutely.
Even in the hard times, I had an opportunity actually. Speaking of the one-on-one time that I've had with Cameron since Friday.
Yeah.
I've had an opportunity to lose my temper, blow up, not keep composure, to say things that I should not have said. And then not that my anger and frustration wasn't warranted, because it was. But it's bad. It's bad. Monday night.
No,
seventh grade boys and eighth grade boys for Concordia. They have the middle school has a summer league, and so the seventh grade team actually ended up playing the eighth grade team for like the end of the season, the end of the summer league, and he hasn't played a bunch of basketball because he's been doing track, and we're still doing it, but. So he tends to get down on himself and gets frustrated if he's not playing up to what he thinks he's capable of. Well, not basketball season, so your shooting percentage isn't going to be great because you're not outside shooting all the time, And so to manage your expectations, and I thought he actually played pretty well, but he was super disappointed in himself, and so he got upset, and then he got rude, and not just to me, but to other people too, because I think he was embarrassed. And anyway, so I just blew up on him, and then I had to go when we got home, and I went away in my bedroom, and I was like, okay. So I just prayed. I'm like, help me to now work through this with him. Give me the words, soften his heart, give him ears to hear me, and forgive me for where I just completely blew it,
Yeah.
So we went another hour or so, and then I went down in his room, and I was like, "Can I talk to you?" I said, "I'm so sorry for losing my temper. It wasn't okay. I expect you to manage your emotions, and then in response to you then I didn't manage my own." And just have that opportunity to say, I'm sorry, I was wrong. Can you forgive me? And that was a really good moment for him and for me. He might tell you differently, but I don't think so.
Yeah. Sounds like that's an impactful moment for him. Well, I think that's so cool that we have that opportunity because I have been in that boat a lot of times where I've lost my cool with the girls. And I think too, just with, not that it's this, I mean, not that it's different for boys, but I think for girls, I don't know, just, I hate that, as a dad, you have the chance to just break their heart, as you yell at them, and I've definitely been in that boat so many times. and just, but thankfully being able to step back and just being like, God, please protect them from me at times. And please heal their hearts where like, I don't have the words that can do that. Like, no matter what I say, like, I need you, God, to heal their hearts. I need you to change my heart. And just, being able to trust them into his hands. Like, and I think too, that opportunity to teach them what it looks like to forgive, to bounce back from, a situation where you've failed or faltered or whatever it is. And like, as painful it is, like maybe at the end of the day, they learn more from that situation, being able to observe how you handle that versus if everything is just always rosy and perfect all the time, would they know what to do when they get into those situations, when they lose their cool, and now they can look back and say, okay, I did, but I saw my dad show what it looked like to apologize and come back after the fact. And that's hard because especially when it's like, I said I wasn't going to do this again, or I wasn't going to yell again, I wasn't going to lose my cool. And just that, that's hard I feel like that's hard to take in your own heart of like trying to bounce back and model that.
And I said all those things to myself as we were walking to the car out of Concordia, because I knew what kind of interaction it was going to be, because we've been down this road several times with him. And it's not even it's not in the defeat. Like, the team won. It's in victory where he gets, and I said to myself, I'm going to not just go at him, and then probably a matter of 30 seconds later, I was screaming at him in the car,
right.
So like, that was rough. It is incredibly impactful for them to know that we're not perfect, but more importantly, for them to know that we know that we're not perfect. And that we're sinners in need of a savior, and there was only one perfect one, without sin. And for us to for them to recognize, for them to know that we know is so important, especially when we work in ministry. Right? Because they'll see us at work, and people want to talk to us, or we're up front in leadership roles or whatever, and there's like just friendly, banter and relationships and things like that. And then we get home and we have a blow up like that, and they're like, well, who's that guy then? Is he like just playing pretend? Is that phony? And so like for me, and I learned this many years ago, maybe too late as a parent, but not too late, but later in my parenting, how important that is. And, so to take a moment like that and go to the Lord and be like, okay, now don't just fix this, but help us, like, let's use this for something good in developmental, like in the relationship with my kids, in the growth, and for them then to understand that we don't have this expectation that they're perfect either. And we know that they're going to mess up. And then also they can come and say they're sorry. Now, fast forward to the next day, and he and I took him to get a drink over lunchtime on what was this, on yesterday. He loves the boba tea. Loves the boba.
The little bubble things on the bottom.
Yeah.
Tapiocas or whatever they're called.
So we're in there, and he's like, when am I going to get my phone back? Because I had taken it away from him. And I was like, is there something that you wanted to say to me? And he's like, sorry.
Yeah. Hey, he said it, right? Yeah. That's, like you said, an opportunity to teach them. And I think too, like, just in our day and age of busy schedules, like obviously in ministry, but outside of all parents I know are trying to keep up and get all the things done. And then it's like those you don't want to ruin those interactions that you do get. Like, we do get this time together, and oh man, I blew it, right? I yelled at him, and now like the one evening we had together this week is just a mess, and it's ruined. And so I think about that a lot too, of like just the scarcity of opportunities just to really sit down and connect as a family all together, and then to hopefully not mess up too many of those with my own impatience or frustration or
fatigue,
whatever it might be. Just
stress. I mean, think about the season that you've just come out of. Educationally.
Well, right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, you're burning it. Super capable of the schedule you keep, for sure. I think you manage it really well. But at the end of the day, you're like, I just want to sit here and watch The Office. Can I just watch The Office?
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. There are those moments for sure. And I think I found it helpful to like almost prepare yourself ahead of time, like walking into a situation, like, just so you know, and this is me self-talk talking about, just so you know, things probably won't go perfectly here. Like, just so you know, one of the girls might throw a fit, or, one of the things, they might have, just so you know, like, as we're driving to school, one of them may have forgotten their water bottle, like, there's just whatever it is. And so I find that if I kind of prep myself a little bit for that, it doesn't always work. Like, it's still, but just to kind of get in the mindset, okay, like, I'm expecting things to go absolutely perfectly here. There's a chance they won't. And so to get out ahead of this thing, let's just start preparing my heart now for how am I going to respond when it doesn't go perfect? Yeah. Like, and I have found that to be helpful. And I don't always get that done, but when I do, it does seem like it helps a lot, just to, because I think that's the thing, like, expectations that we have for, like, we have, I think, very high unrealistic expectations sometimes of how things are supposed to go. I heard this incredible quote. I think it was a C.S. Lewis quote the other day. I was just looking up some of his things, and I'm trying to think exactly how it went. But he said something about, like, the situations that don't go perfectly, or like the interruptions in our lives. Like, I think so often we encounter those, and then we say, once this is done, I can get back to my real life. But he's like, actually, our real life is all of those interruptions and distractions and difficult times. Like, this is actually the life that God has given you moment by moment, versus like, this is just a setback, and let's get through this so we can get back to living life, the real deal. Like, but life is actually all of those little interruptions, all of those difficulties, all those distractions. This is what the hand of God has given you, for sure, day by day, and to embrace Him for that.
I think about, sometimes when my schedule heats up, there are things on it, I'm like, okay, I'm not looking forward to that. Just got to get through it. Yeah. It's just it's a meeting, or it's a day, or it's an event, or it's a week of something. I'm like, I just got to get through it. Okay, I get through it, then I can look forward to the next thing, which I am looking forward to. I'm not looking forward to this. And I have learned, and now I'm, because I see it in Logan quite a bit. Not presently. I think he's coming around to it as well. But where it's like, no, don't say that. Like, look for the blessing in the thing that you're not looking forward to, and be present in it. Don't just be, blasé, and know that God has you there doing that thing in that moment for something, right? And so, like, look to that and be open to the blessing of it. Because I know that there were seasons in my life I was like, just get through it. And then I was just not fulfilled. Yeah.
Always looking ahead. I think he, in that same section, talks about that idea of living in the future, and how, again, I can't do it justice, but says something along the lines of, like, in the present is where you, like, receive and experience God's blessings. Like, that's the only place you can actually experience them in the moment. Yeah. Like, if you're like, the past is frozen and done, it's and the future is, whatever it is, but living in the present is the only place where you can truly interact with and engage and experience His blessings. But
Yeah, managing expectations, of these moments with our kids, as parents to our children. I think also with coworkers or employees, and having that similar type of relationship with extended family, coworkers, employees, of what I was talking about earlier, which is, like, I'm not perfect. I blew it. I was wrong. I'm sorry. Can you forgive me? And then also, like, opening that up for a two-way street, where, for sure, where then they can also feel like, hey, yeah, okay, well, I blew this, and now Dad's gonna be mad, or boss is gonna be mad, or my brother is gonna be mad, and to have that opportunity for reconciliation. Is I think there's an area of growth there, and relational development and spiritual development, and Philemon.
Yeah, speaking of forgiveness and reconciliation.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure how it came about or how it came to be, but we had an opportunity to kind of step back from a current study, which is the armor of God, coming from Ephesians 6, and I think I said Romans on Sunday, but we were in Ephesians, and to study this book, Philemon, or Philemon. We're trying to. Actually, there's some pretty good YouTube videos on how to pronounce names in the Bible, so I often go there.
It's good,
and it can be Philemon or Philemon, apparently.
Philemon.
But yeah,
I prefer the Jamaican.
Philemon.
Philemon.
Right.
Sandals all-inclusive resort with them.
Right.
Feeling hot. Sorry.
What is that little drum thing called?
Steel drum?
That is an instrument that surprises me that's the sound that comes out of it.
Right?
Like, I always thought that was like a woodwind instrument or something that made that sound. Yeah,
because it's so like high and sort of like sharp. You know? Yeah, for a drum, it's
that is not what I expected. Anyways, we would digress, I guess. But
Philemon.
Little known book of the Bible, and I have to admit, I did not know the full story of kind of what was going on in that book before this week. But it gives us an incredible opportunity to look at this idea of forgiveness and reconciliation. A man named Onesimus had been a servant in the household of Philemon, and then he runs away. It's on bad terms. Something else went down, but we don't know all the details, but he had wronged Philemon in some way, and then he runs away, and by the grace of God encounters Paul while he's in prison in Rome, and Paul actually converts this runaway to Christianity. And Paul's like, I'd love to just kind of keep him here with me, because he's a great guy. He's converted now. He's doing great work with us for the gospel. He's like, but ultimately what needs to happen is he needs to go back and set terms right with Philemon. And so he sends him back along with a letter, and just encourages both of these men, Philemon and Onesimus, to redefine the relationship, no longer as master and servant, but as brothers in Christ, and just to figure out how to go forward in that way. And so, it's just as we talked about, it's a big part of our lives every day. We're gonna wrong one another. We're gonna get into disagreements. We're gonna have those struggles. But I guess the mark of like a good, mature relationship isn't necessarily that there would never be those things, but that when those things arise on the other side, we can come around and reconcile, figure out how to come back together, in a meaningful way. So,
which is, it's not always easy. I think it's something I read the other day. It's like nobody thinks they're wrong. Nobody in the moment, without any kind of opportunity for reflection, nobody would say, nobody would naturally say, I'm in the wrong when I'm saying this, when I'm acting like this. I'm in the wrong, and you're the one who's right. It's always like, I'm right, you know?
Yeah.
And so not only is it difficult then to be like, okay, well, now I'm going to go say I'm sorry. I'm going to go tell you I'm sorry. Like, well, I wasn't wrong. I mean, you got to have that opportunity for reflection and really go to the Lord and be like, okay, this situation, this circumstance really tearing me up here. You know, let me just go to the Lord and give it up and have an open mind and heart to where I did blow it.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
Then to go reconcile.
Yeah.
You know, to ask for forgiveness. Sometimes I'll admit, especially in marriage, like sometimes I'll apologize when I don't feel like I was wrong at all.
Sure.
Because for me, that's the progression of, okay, we got to get to healing here, and she's not going to talk to me.
Yeah.
She's mad.
So you gotta, how can we move this forward?
Yeah.
That brings up a good question. Like, is there ever a situation where we're not in the wrong in some way? Even if, like, even on the topic of discussion, we were right in that, like, were we wrong in how we tried to get our point across, or are we wrong in how we, you know, approached it? And I think, you know, you talk about that self-reflection too, of just the opportunity to see things from the other person's perspective, I think is something we don't often do, or like just to see where other people are coming from. I think it's easy to get caught up in, this is where I'm at, this is my perspective on it, this is what I think needs to happen in order for me to feel good about how things are. But I think we often miss that step of, well, let me just at least consider their perspective. Like, let me try to understand where they're coming from. And I think I told you there was an analogy I wanted to kind of use on Sunday, but it felt like I was forcing it in. And maybe it's not even that great of an analogy, but I don't know how I came across it, but started reading about the Transcontinental Railroad, which, you know, go back to your elementary, you know, history class days, when the railroad that like met in the middle.
Yeah.
And so as I was reading about it, so like the Union Pacific started in Omaha, which was interesting. I didn't realize that. And like worked its way west. And then I think it was like the Central Pacific Railroad started at like Sacramento.
Yeah.
And worked their way east. And by the time they met, like the Central Pacific had covered like, I don't know, like 600 miles. And the Union Pacific had covered like over 1,000. So I was like, well, what were those, you know, what were they doing? They didn't pull their weight. Like they didn't come as far as they should have. And then as you read a little bit more, it's like that Central Pacific group, they had to like scale the Sierra Nevadas, and they had to like bust all these tunnels through like solid granite. And they kept having workers go on strike or leave. And then they dealt with the winters up in the mountains. Then they had to go through deserts, and their workers were dying from heat exhaustion. And like the guys from Omaha, they just had the plains to cross mainly. Yeah. And so it was like as I stepped back, I was like, gosh, these guys, they weren't pulling. But in the end of the day, the important thing was that they met like as a team to like complete this project. Right. Like, and it wasn't so much like, well, you weren't pulling your weight, you didn't lay as much track as we did, or, you know, and I think in relationships too, of, well, you're not pulling your weight, or you're not making as much of an effort as I am, but really the important thing in the end is let's work as a team to meet where we can, versus like, I'm just going to hold up here. I came halfway. Like, when they get here, they'll get here.
Yeah.
Or, you know, and
we'll just sit around, tap our foot impatiently.
Yeah.
Like,
or even understand the struggles that sometimes people are facing. You know, who knows what's going on in their life that's making it tough for them to reconcile right now. They might have challenges or struggles or difficulties that we have no idea about, that if we knew, like, we might be more sympathetic, or at least more understanding of, whatever the situation is, or whatever their perspective is. But I mean, that's hard to do.
It is hard to do, and I've never found that more difficult, more challenging than when I'm in driving.
Yeah,
and I'm impatient.
Yeah, right.
You know, like, hey, got places to be here.
Yeah,
like, what's the holdup? And just to take them up and be like, okay, am I in that big of a hurry?
Right.
You know, it's going 8 miles an hour under the speed limit really causing me that kind of problem. What kind of day is that person having?
Yeah.
You have no idea.
Yeah.
You have no idea. And I'm certain, and I know that there have been times in my own life when I'm driving somewhere and I'm not thinking about getting to my destination. I'm thinking about, I cannot believe the weight of this issue is on me right now, and I can hardly breathe, you know?
And thinking that others might be, it's convicting too for me. Is like, I always get upset at the people that are like trying to fly around me or that are tailgating me. And it's like,
yeah, that's me.
But I'm on the other side. I'm doing that to other people, you know, like the next time I drive, I'll let you staring.
It's like, is that Tesla?
Yeah, right.
There's a reason I don't have a GraceHill sticker on my car.
I get nervous about that sometimes. I've thought about that a lot more lately, of like how I'm driving.
Dude, I should get a GraceHill banded vehicle, like branded, rather, not banded, branded, so that the entire thing, it looks like one big logo.
Right.
I'm like, okay,
now you got it.
10 and 2, speed limit.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've been thinking about that more lately, just as we've gotten bigger, and there's a greater chance you're going to come across someone that.
Hey, but then there's an opportunity for reconciliation.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, good to see you this Sunday morning. Real quick, remember I was blasting my horn at you, and then you gave me the number one sign. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. And are you also sorry?
Is there anything you'd like to say to me? Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, definitely a challenging topic to wade into, and I think that was kind of the challenge of prepping for this too, because a lot of the examples that we share, not by name, but they come from real conversations that we have with people, throughout the weeks and the months and the years leading up to it, and so that's one challenge is like certain situations that people are walking through, and it's like this is gonna like. I'm sharing this message of like, you need to reconcile, but it's like, but at the same time, I know like how tough that is on you. Like, I know the situation that you're in right now, and this probably feels like that's impossible. There's no way I can do that. And so I think that's always challenging as you think through what people need to hear, that, you don't want to be too harsh when there are situations that people are walking through that are just horrible and that are just, so challenging. But hopefully that there was some gospel light that kind of showed through of like God's faithfulness to help us walk through those situations, and that he's ultimately the one that has to, supply the strength. We shared that one story of Corey Tinboom, who had to meet one of her captors after the fact and figure out how to shake his hand, and just her testimony of how like she couldn't explain, but somehow she knew God was helping loosen her arm and, opening her heart and putting in an emotion of love that she never thought could have been possible. And so,
and without God in the middle of that, it not only would it not be possible, but like the feeling, and then I think you described it so well, the feeling of like just shaking the hand and instantly, just the
I just felt
the release or the energy or whatever, whatever.
Yeah. She just felt, said she felt that feeling just move from her hand all the way through her body to her heart, kind of. But, and then kind of the final point we made is just that it's important for our own relationships, but it's also important just because the world is watching to see how we as Christians handle those situations. And I think it's a common criticism that Christianity is hypocritical because people hear us saying one thing and maybe see us acting in another, which is true. We fail at that every single day. But our opportunity to show them that, what the power of God can do, can heal and mold and mend relationships that just it makes no sense that would ever be possible. And so hopefully we can walk in a way that draws people's attention and allows them to see kind of what that can look like. So.
And and then not to I think a lot about living a transformed life. So not just then relying on God to help pick up the pieces every time I fall, but rather try not to fall as much. And as I think about like cheap grace, like, oh, he's got it. So
Right.
I'm just going to be me.
Yeah.
I'm who I am. And
Yeah.
I'm going to behave this way. And my kid behaves like that. I'm going to blow up on him and show him who's boss and show him it's not okay, and really go hard that way. He learns his lesson, I'm be like, and then, then God will figure it out, going forward.
Yeah.
Versus, okay, I need to be better.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to be better.
Yeah.
And as difficult as it is in those moments, just like you were saying, going into a circumstance where like, okay, there's going to be an interruption, and I'm just going to keep my cool.
Yeah,
I'm not going to lose it. I'm really going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
This time I'm going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Versus the alternative. Living a transformed life doesn't just mean that you're volunteering war,
Mm-hmm.
or you're.
Yeah. Well, and that was the first point too, of like, God wants every part of your life. Like, yeah, it's not just the external parts that are obvious to people or that people see. Those are the ones we try to clean up first, probably, because it helps us get ahead in life to look a certain way in certain situations. But just God's call on, like, he wants every part of us, every relationship, devoted to him, every interaction we have, every situation we find ourselves in, devoted to him ultimately. And I think it's a fine balance you strike. Like you talk about, not the cheap grace side of like, I'm just going to be me and God'll figure it out. He'll pick up the pieces so I can just keep doing whatever I want. Versus also the other side of like, man, I have to be reliant on him every second, every moment of every day. And I feel like that's the piece that I often miss, is like, I'm just forging ahead in my own strength. Like, okay, God, you helped me out last time. I can't rely on you again. Like, that's not fair. So I got to figure it out myself.
Yeah.
And I feel like that can sometimes be a recipe for disaster too, of like, I'm just going to pull through with my own strength. And, but just that opportunity to really rely on him, of like, God, what do you want to do in this situation? And help me just to follow where you lead.
Yeah.
I think is a part of it too, of letting his strength be what we lean on and rely on rather than our own. But
the parenting example is maybe the best one I can think of. We got 5 kids, and no 2 are alike.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not only like there's different genetic makeup anyway, but they're not alike. And their hearts are different, their emotions are different, their personalities are different, their behaviors are different, their ages are different. And so, as much as I want to say, okay, it's like when the circumstance arises, I want to keep my cool. Okay, well, that's for that kid. Now, what happens if another kid comes in the room and, which actually did happen one time. One similar situation with Cam, but we weren't alone. And then his sister came to his defense, and then it became all about her. So I took that, and I just, so it's well, if it were up to us, it'd be the failure rate of 100%.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah.
And thank goodness it's not up to us.
Yeah. Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
So what's up next for you? You've got a busy week yet.
Yeah, we're just keep plugging away. We've got our summer Bible studies are still going on. We do Tuesday mornings at church. We do Wednesday evenings at the church. I guess we do early Tuesday mornings on Zoom. So just keeping up with those, and then looking forward to the fall when we launch our small groups and potentially another Sunday morning Bible study that we're looking to add. So I think just looking for ways for people to connect and grow deeper in faith. That's, I think, a real big emphasis that we have as we get into this next school year and season at GraceHill. And some fun serve projects along the way too. We're painting a house in August. We're going to be working with Habitat for Humanity this fall. We're going to be doing another bed build with Sleep in Heavenly Peace. So So some cool opportunities to get out into the community. I think we're going to be helping out with Heartland Hope's Thanksgiving meal that they do for the community around Thanksgiving time. And, Christmas offers a lot of opportunities. We've got prison ministry event coming up on this Sunday. So, yeah, just some cool stuff going on. So, yeah.
No rest for the weary.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a good thing you're young.
Yeah. Well, we have great teams of volunteers always. So, yeah, there's something for everybody to get plugged in. And so if you're out there looking for opportunities to get plugged in, I would say that there's often no better way than those serve projects.
Yeah.
Like working shoulder to shoulder with people, you really get to know them, and jump in and try it out. So, yeah,
that's for sure. You do, like, they're in a growing church like it is. I think the hardest thing is for meaningful connections to occur, but at the same time, there's so many opportunities for that. During those serve events, it's not just like a Sunday thing.
Yeah, for sure.
There's plenty of opportunities with Bible studies too. You can see people growing in relationships within those small groups. That's a given, I guess. But we're blessed, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And we got to go to the Dells. We're heading to Wisconsin Dells for a little water park vacation at the end of this month. So, yeah, looking forward to that. And
that's a good place to go. So I've heard.
Yeah, never been there.
Yeah.
But I've talked to multiple people recently that have gone there, or just have gone there just this year, and they had a good time. So.
There's a reason it's popular, and
yeah.
So right on.
Awesome.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Your incredible hard work and leadership, selflessness, and youth. I appreciate your youth.
Well, thanks for all you do, man. Setting this up, and I don't think people always realize, but there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that you're doing as you pour into people's lives, and one-on-one or small groups, whatever it is. But I know you do a lot with that. So,
and just in classic Pastor Brady fashion, he turns a compliment into a compliment on others. So, thanks, buddy. I really appreciate it. Thanks for taking the time today too.
Yeah.